Hi everyone, Letty here. Welcome to #N2S Rustic Blooms. This is Not Too Shabby Shop quarterly release. I've got a quick unboxing and we're going to do a project. I'm going to show you how you can stretch your supplies. Welcome back everyone. So today I have the new quarterly release from the Not Too Shabby Shop. I do have a website affiliate link that I'll link down in the description box below. So this is the quarterly release, and so it is called Rustic Blooms. Here's the 6x6 paper pad. You get 24 designs, 6x6 sheets of paper, 24 total sheets. They are double-sided, so you'll get each pattern twice, the front and the back. So here's just what each of the different patterns looks like. You have different like wood grains and lots of florals. You've got some gingham and then some other little designs as well. Lots of really pretty fun spring colors. So again, double-sided 24 total sheets with 24 total designs. And this is again called Rustic Blooms. Then we have a coordinating ephemera pack called Carts of Flowers. It's really cute. Lots of butterflies, carts of flowers, and then lots of carts with little either floral images or little critters inside of them. So here's a still shot of what comes in that ephemera pack as well. Then we have the stamp set. This is called Blooming Sentiments. And so this is the stamp set. Lots of really great sentiments on this one. And there likely is a coordinating die set. I don't have it here to show you, but there probably is one. You'll definitely want to check it out on the website. So Blooming Sentiments. Then there is the Hello with the Shadow die. So Not Too Shabby has started to design these. I am absolutely loving this. And so I will use this for today's project, Hello with Shadow. Then we have enamel dots, and I am a huge fan of these. So this one's called Rustic Blossoms. Really fun. These are glitter enamel dots. So those will coordinate perfectly with our collection. And then Jamie threw in a button this collection, or this for this quarter. I think it's super, super cute. So really cute, coordinates with the overall quarterly release, again, called Rustic Blooms. And so again, I'll have that website affiliate link down in the description box below. Let's dive into today's project. So for today's project, I wanted to show you a few ways you can stretch your supplies when making cards. And you're probably doing a lot of these, if not all of them, but I definitely want to show you a couple of things that I do just to really make my supplies stretch. And so I am using this layering die, this standalone layering die that says hello. It does have the coordinating outer layer as well as the inner word layer as well. And so I am going to die cut that one with today's project. And then I have already made 2 cards off camera. We'll do a third one together. I am using a bunch of different things. You see here, I did stamp right onto the paper. That is one of the things that I love about Not Too Shabby paper is you can stamp directly onto it. I did also bring in some of the ephemera pieces as well as some of the enamel dots. I'm going to show you a few different ways to use some of your scraps. We're going to show you how to use that metallic cardstock and what you can do to really just make it stretch. So here is my cardstock mat. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. One tip I can give you is die cut from your cardstock mat before you use it. So you can actually use all of that real estate that's going to be hidden anyway under your card front. So you see here, I really only have to worry about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So the other thing I'll tell you is you can die cut from your scraps. And so I did have one little scrap strip that was left over, but then the second little section, I went ahead and die cut out a banner. And so I figured I could use this either on the front of the card or on the inside of my card. So you see here, I have it on the front of the card. I just use a little die cut. You can also stamp on your paper. So you can stamp on your scraps if you have them. You can also make your scraps stretch. So I'm going to cut this one and kind of expand it because you see here it only covers a portion of that bottom layer on the bottom. And so I'm actually going to cut it, make it stretch. You can also glue your scraps on the inside. I know a lot of people do this. You can glue them on the inside, really just make them stretch, kind of decorate the inside of your card. But also you don't have to worry about putting anything back in your stash. So that's another little tip for you as well. You can see here I'm kind of showing you all the different areas you can put something like this. And if you didn't have a little banner die, you could always just cut it with your scissors and make it a little banner. So that's one option there. So again, die cutting shapes from your scraps is one of my additional tips here. And again, you could just cut it with your scissors, no big deal there. I did also stamp a sentiment from the stamp set, and I put it on a white die cut circle. So this one just has so many different options, and I really, really love all the different sentiments that come on that stamp set. Today I'm going to use 1 sheet of 6x6 paper. I'm going to show you how to cut it to get the exact same layout that I have here. This is a horizontal layout, so we're going to kind of go from left to right, but I do have an extra mat. So my paper is 5 by 3 3/4 because I do have a larger A2 mat that's going to go right under it as well. We're going to go ahead and rotate our paper once. So the top is to the right hand side, cut it at 3 3/4 on the 6-inch side. So this is what it'll look like. So we're going to use this larger piece first. Go ahead and cut it at 5 inches on the 6-inch side. So our final mat will be that larger one. That's our paper mat. And again, it's 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have that cardstock mat, the gold cardstock mat, that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And you see here, you're going to cover up all of your little die cut images right with that top mat. Now, these scraps, we are going to use the reverse side to die cut additional items. So that was one of my tips here is when you're thinking about your layout, and you have some specific dies in mind, make sure you cut to mats that will allow you to also die cut out of those scraps. And so I'm going to die cut my outer border for the word, and I'm also going to die cut my little banner. And then this extra scrap, I'll just use either for the front of the card, or you can put it on the inside of the card, either way. So you could also technically put it on the front of the card just like this with a vertical sort of layout. Now it's a little bit short to go horizontally, so I am going to show you, we're going to cut it in real time and we're going to go ahead and add it to the front of my card. So I'm going to die cut these off camera real quick. With the magic of technology, I am back and I have my little outer layer of my word. These are my only scraps that I'll have left over. You see here, you still have some areas there that could be cut off, and they're gorgeous papers. So you could very easily make some additional smaller banners or things with those little corners. And then with the smaller little section, I went ahead and die cut out the banner showcasing that gorgeous floral image. And I figured I will just use that for the inside of my card. So those are my final scraps, because I will use the additional scraps for my actual card. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue down my gold cardstock hello letters. And I'm going to glue it down to the outer layer or the bottom layer. So I've added my glue here, and I did add glue to the entire thing. I just did it really quickly off camera to make it a little faster. And so I'm just adding it down. The good thing about metallic foil is with the glue, you can just kind of rub it off if you get some on the actual metallic foil. So I am going to use wet glue to glue down my cardstock mat to this. And that's just because there's a lot of little areas right in the middle that I did not die cut out that I want to add adhesive to. So you have to be kind of careful when you have a metal tip on your glue bottle, but because it can actually scratch your metallic foil or cardstock. But I am going to use ATG on my paper mat. And the reason for that is because I find that dry adhesive like ATG is much easier to work with when you're sticking on top of a metallic foil like this. So, and because the wet glue seems to take longer, of course, to dry, and so it sort of smears it a little bit more. So now I have my sort of additional images here. You see here, my little scrap is too short to kind of go across the entire bottom section of this. So one tip I can give you, again, is to cut it and kind of have the middle section hidden by your ephemera piece. And so I just cut it kind of in a section that would allow me to put the ephemera where I wanted to put it. I'm going to glue the first one over to the right. I'm going to skip a space, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that second little piece over to the left-hand side as if that strip ran all the way across the bottom of my card. But that little hole that you see there is going to be covered by my ephemera piece. Now, you could also bring in your scraps if you wanted to make it sort of flush. You could also bring that in and sort of glue it there, cut it and then glue it to fill in that gap. But because there's such a big hole, it's really not going to make too much of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue down my ephemera piece straight to my card. So that's another little tip there with the scrap strip. You can make it, elongate it to make it across the entire, card width or base. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my little scrap right into the inside of my card. You could also put that little banner somewhere on the front of the card, but I think it was just too gorgeous with that floral image that it would sort of compete on the front. So I went ahead and added it into the inside. I'm going to add my sentiment. So I'm going to start with my circle sentiment towards the bottom, and then I'm going to add the hello at the top. Now I'm sort of auditioning where I want that little butterfly to go before I glue. That's another tip for you, is just kind of lay things out and get them in the places that you want them before you start gluing. That usually makes for a better process overall. So that's my general card. And then the next tip I can give you is use your embellishments. I oftentimes forget to use enamel dots, but I did add some to these. The thing is, they're going to be there, and sometimes those supplies will kind of get bad over time. so they can lose the stickiness or whatever. So you always want to use them while you can. They go perfectly with this collection. Why not use them? So I am going to add some enamel dots. You saw there, I was just auditioning them on the front of my card. I just placed 3 of them. The odd numbers usually tend to look a little bit better, but I went ahead and added 2 more. And because I only had 2 left, I went ahead and added 2 additional ones, which would make 7 total enamel dots on the front of my card. Here's my finished card. Let's dive into a full recap. So today I used the quarterly release from the Not Too Shabby Shop. It is brand new, just released on May 15th, and this is called Rustic Blooms. You got a paper pad, a stamp set, a die. You also have the ephemera pack, some enamel dots, a button. So lots of really fun goodies, really gorgeous images. I wanted to show you how you can stretch your supplies today. We were able to die cut out of our cardstock mat. We were able to cut our paper in a way that would allow to die cut additional shapes from them. We were able to stamp on some of our scraps as well for our sentiments. We added our additional scraps to the insides of the cards. We also added our enamel dots, and we used up our embellishments with the ephemera pieces as well. We also did stretch that one little scrap strip by cutting it and stretching it over the length of the bottom of the card, or the width of the card as well. So these are just super fun, quick and easy little tips you can do. Again, you probably are already doing all of these. These are just some of the things that I do to stretch my supplies because they're so gorgeous. So again, just a quick little stretching your supplies. Again, using the quarterly release from Not Too Shabby Shop. I do have my affiliate link. I'll link down below so you can purchase any of these items if you haven't already. And make sure you check out the hashtag N2S Rustic Blooms to get access to any video from the design team that is creating with this new quarterly release. So you'll definitely want to check it out. Hop on over to Not Too Shabby as well. Check out all the different items. They're so gorgeous. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration. As always, happy crafting.